Awareness of bias. Our development is restricted and enhanced by our education and experiences as humans. Though we cannot learn or live through everything, that does not excuse us from acknowledging that biases form from these foundational interactions. Bias is simply a calculation or assumption based on learned information or behaviours of others around us. It can range from simple preferences to discrimination, so it is important to note that not all biases are equal. Someone's bias need not to be hateful or hurtful, yet can be when taken to extremes. It is frequently unconscious behaviour. However, we should not simply disregard these biases, but seek to understand them and challenge our thinking. When we acknowledge that bias exists, we avoid falling upon bad habits, decisions, or points of view that have no real place in business. The beautiful thing about the human condition is that we can change, grow, and bloom into different levels of insight and awareness. Life is full of change, and when we remind ourselves of how adaptable we are, we can see that bias is a hurdle to overcome, not a path-changing detour. We are responsible for our own minds. Influential and effective leaders make themselves aware of their biases to confront them head-on. This awareness is an active process that requires self-reflection, goals, and value clarification. While bias and blind spots may not necessarily be our faults, it is our responsibility to recognize them and make adjustments. Here are 3 things to think about regarding bias awareness. 1. Recognize that everyone has a bias. It is part of being human. 2. You are responsible for actively addressing those instincts and feelings. 3. Being aware of our bias leads to greater engagement and effectiveness with others. Now, here are 3 things you can do today to help challenge yourself. 1. Recognize that discovering your bias requires awareness, desire, knowledge, accountability, and practice. 2. Johari's Window is an excellent resource to engage others for their feedback, share perspectives, and build stronger relationships. 3. This process requires humility. We have much to learn from each other.